Do-do-do. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me. So, who is in chat with me tonight? Who decided to join me? I went live mainly because tonight I did, hi Deeks, I did see that there was a few people who weren't able to join me earlier, who really wanted to join me earlier. So I went ahead and said, you know what, let's just go ahead and let's do it. Let's go live. Let's rock and roll this thing. Thank you guys for joining me and being a part of this with me this evening. Looks like we have some more people who joined in. So what are you guys up to besides joining me for a live chat session? Hi, Retta. Good evening. Is it Retta or Rita? Good evening. So what are you guys doing? I mean, you just... Okay. So I pronounced it first. I just washed my tongue and can't do a thing with that. I pronounced it correctly the first time. Good. So I hate it when people mess up my name. So I really didn't want to mess up yours. And... Ooh, salsa sounds like fun. Something I wouldn't mind getting into is doing a little bit of salsa, get my groove on, doing my thing. So I have looked into the whole accepting credit card payments and still researching that. Bear with me. Still getting things going with that. It's going to take me a little bit more research to figure out exactly what is going to be the best avenue and the best option to offer you guys. So that is something that is in the works. I'm just sorry I wasn't able to get it up and running for tonight. However, you guys can still send questions and whatnot through PayPal if that's how you would like to do it. And I pinned my PayPal information to the last one. If you'd like, I can throw it out there again for those of you who don't have it. It does sound like it would be a lot of fun. I haven't been clubbing in a while, guys. I mean, really, it just is something I love to do. I just haven't done it in a while. So let's see if it will. Let me type it in here. If I can type correctly without screwing it up. Okay, so that should be the link for my PayPal information for those of you who are interested in getting a reading tonight. Otherwise, we can just sit here and chit chat. So where are you guys all at? Hi, Valentis. Thanks for joining me again, hon. I'm glad to see some of you who are able to be on this morning, who are coming back this afternoon. Or for some of you, it's probably a little bit later. Sure. What's your question, hon? I will always answer whatever questions you have to the best of my ability. Hi, Ruth. How are you? Okay, Purdue. Sweet. Somebody I worked with recently moved out that way. So kind of interesting. Or howdy, I guess, not how. Whoops. That, you know what? That sounds fun. I would love to go out clubbing, go dancing, and kind of just do my thing with my girls and just have fun. You know, that just sounds like fun. Yes, I did. I did say that. Buffalo, hello, East Coast. You know, Valentis, I want to say, to answer your question, that the energy feels female. So whether or not they're actually female born, whether or not they are male turning female or male who associates as female or whatever, I very much feel a very, very strong feminine type energy. So it's possible they could be a very effeminate male, but I hope that kind of answers your question. By your answer, I am getting the feeling that it probably does. So I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity. You know what, Joe, if you would like me to do a reading for you on that, go ahead and send it through my PayPal. I'll happily do a spread for you, and we'll see if real estate would be the best interest for you to be successful. Okay. Mary Kelly, I did catch your comment earlier, so thank you for joining me this evening. I'm sorry that you weren't able to get a hold of me and join us earlier and had to catch it after the fact. Valentis, I'm not sure as to age-wise whether or not they're older or younger than you. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I don't even want to try your name because I'm afraid I'll slaughter it. But hello and welcome. How are you? Possibly. I would have to pull another spread for you to be able to figure that out, Valentis. So, guys, I really do enjoy reading. So as we were talking about in the last live, there's a few of you on here right now who haven't had the opportunity to join me live before. So thank you. And for those of you who were, okay, I'll call you Uni. That works better for me. Thank you. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to drop a couple of videos tomorrow. And it will be, as per Mary's request, she has asked me to do a singles all signs love reading, love forecast for the week. And then I will also do just a general all signs love forecast for the week. So we'll see how that goes, how that works out for us. I'm really kind of tossing around the idea of maybe doing like a general kind of financial spread for the week. So if you guys like that idea, please drop me a comment. Let me know. I am always open to suggestions. I like to hear what you guys have to say. I like the suggestions that you guys offer me. I definitely take them under advisement, and I do read the comments. So feel free, drop me comments. Let me know. Okay, you'd like a financial spread? All right, I can drop you one. So yeah, I generally try and go on, Mary Kelly, to give people an idea of when I'm going to be on. Sometimes it's only a 30-second video like I dropped earlier. Sometimes it's a little bit longer, but usually it's under 5 minutes. And that's me hopping on saying, hey guys, I'm planning on going live, or this is an update as to what the situation is. So I'm glad you caught the one earlier, and I'm glad that you were able to come in and join me. I really, really like the energy of this group that we've got going on. I like it when people come in and join me and give me feedback. I enjoy the comments. You guys have been super supportive and very, very sweet, and so on. So I've tossed around the idea of doing pick a cards. I have tossed around the idea of doing tap and asks, or letting you guys pick a pile and laying them out so you can see them. Got a few things going on that I'm tossing around in my brain, figuring stuff out. So we'll see how well it goes. But I know that you like the pick a cards. We've talked about that one before. And I know that some people have asked for me to do like lay out the piles and let them choose a pile for me to read from, stuff like that. Yeah, active brain. So yes, thank you for the compliment. I guess I've been told that I read differently than a lot of other people. So I hope it's a breath of fresh air for those of you who were looking for something different. For those of you who are new to joining me, as I see the numbers fluctuating a little bit, welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are here, if you would please hit the like button and the share button, that helps me get out there a little bit more, helps me spread what I'm doing, helps me to help other people. And that's kind of my end goal, is to be able to help people and maybe help them get past a certain point where they may feel stuck on. So by all means, that's what I'm here for. Now I'm getting goosebumps. So that's really what I I think my end game is overall is just to help people. I do it in my day-to-day life with work and stuff. And then I am now doing it this way. So I'm kind of glad that I've been reading most of my life, but I'm glad I got started on this avenue of reading because it enables me to spread out and help more people. So thank you for joining me, Retta. I'm glad that you're here. I have very much enjoyed meeting new people, and I feel like we've all been kind of becoming friends, learning more about each other. So, do we have anybody here who is on, let's see, let's do a head count. Is anybody from Australia? I know I had a couple people earlier who were from Australia. Is anybody down that way? Thank you, Mary. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for jumping on. Glad to see that you were able to be here. Thank you, dear. My hubby just came in and brought me a drink. So, sweet guy. He knows I'm live. So, he's in and out quick, doesn't try and engage me for a moment. But he actually just got home from work. He's driving Harvest. And so that's kind of a very, very time engrossing thing for him to be doing. We don't see a lot of him right now. So what are you guys out doing? I mean, obviously you're here joining me. Is anybody from down south? Hi, Debbie. I've seen that. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing we had somebody back east, back in the New York area. Is anybody down south being affected by all that rain and the floods? You guys have definitely been on my mind. Texas. Okay. So what part of Texas? Because not all of Texas is getting flooded. I learned that earlier. Is it raining in Chicago? So are you like downtown Chicago? Or are you on the outskirts? Where are you at? I mean, obviously, I don't want your address. I would never ask for that. But I know Chicago is quite a large city. So there's different areas to it. See, and here is... like today it warmed up a bit, but it's been overcast all day. It's really kind of been, okay, it's really been kind of just gloomy. We're supposed to warm back up, so hopefully that'll be nice. And maybe we might get a little bit more summer, but we'll see. I doubt it. Okay, so are you getting hammered by rain then, Valentis? I have a friend of mine that is down around, I want to say like Beaumont or something. And they said that the rain wasn't too terribly bad, but maybe they're like north of that. Okay. So you're from big city life. You probably wouldn't know what to do with yourself in a small town, huh, Mary Kelly Caffrey? How did I start reading tarot? Okay. So honestly, guys, I have been around tarot and forms of divination my entire life. Okay. I grew up with it. And so there was a gal who was a friend of my mom's who came over and she read my palms. And the way she read my palms is a lot like how I read tarot cards. Okay. I don't do book readings. I do everything from intuition. Okay. The book is right here in this deck. But as you can tell by looking at it, I have never once opened this book. The edges aren't frayed. You can tell I've never opened it. So, and that's why, is because I don't read using the book. I read everything by the energy of the cards, by the feeling that I'm getting. I read it by images and emotions and everything else. So that's kind of why it's just easier to say I read by intuition. But that's also why I feel that I'm able to get to the nitty-gritty of the situation and answer a lot of questions. I had somebody earlier who had a pet who had crossed, and I was able to read about that. And a lot of people aren't able to do that. They aren't able to get in deep and get into the nitty-gritty of it. So I guess I just read a little bit differently. I hope that kind of answers your question as far as the how I got into tarot. And Philadelphia, okay, so another East Coaster. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. I'm reading the comments for a second, guys. Bear with me, okay? So you guys are awesome. Thank you for everybody who's hit the like button, everybody who's shared, everybody who's joined me. I'm very, very grateful. I appreciate every one of you. Hello, West Coast, to Miss Debbie, who is from Oregon. I have family in Oregon. So, okay, you're from the Northwest. What part of the Northwest? I have family that's kind of like Northwest is in over around Portland, up by around Seattle, and in more closer to Spokane. So yeah, I personally have stuff that people and family and friends and whatnot that are spread all over. But where are you at, Nancy? Like around what big area are you by? Because I don't want you to put your whole, okay. That's fine. I don't mind. No, she was answering which part of Chicago she was from, Deets. Thank you. Thank you for jumping to my defense. But she was explaining which part of Chicago she was from, which is fine. And I misunderstood what she had said. So that's on me, not on her. It's all right. So who is anybody in with me right now from a smaller town? And we'll define smaller town as under 100,000 people. If I could send you rain, Deeds, I would. Trust me, I am so sick and tired of rain right now. We have had a colder and wetter summer than what we're used to. Usually, I live in a mountain desert region, so I'm used to a bit drier summers, hotter summers, and so on. So this summer has been, well, we've had some warmer days, upper 90s, lower hundreds and stuff. Not as many as we're used to. So, okay, so you are in a smaller town. Cool, Lola. That's awesome. I'm in a bit bigger town, not quite as small, but I'm not in as small a town as that. Is it pouring that bad? Okay, so Deets, I used to live in a town that wasn't that small, but when I moved out of that town, they had put in the third stoplight shortly after I moved, like within 6 months. It still only has 3 stoplights. There is one major grocery store. The nearest Walmart is about 2 to 2.5 hours away. So I have been very, very small town. In fact, this town was in Nevada. But I can relate because very, very small towns are those where really, if you itch your nose, the people across the street know about it. Bigger towns, not so much. But so it sounds like I'm betting Deeds is the smallest populated town. It sounds like we have some people who are in really, really big towns. Yeah, it was a very, very long drive for necessities. People generally shopped for the month. So they would go out, they would load up their families, make an entire day of it. They would go to hit the Walmart, Target, whatever it is that they were going to get in the bigger town, and then they would come back home. So if they forgot anything, they were either screwed for a month or they had to pay the town's prices. And with one store in town, they could kind of dictate the prices. It really sucked. So, yeah. Okay. So the state highway is a main street. That was one of 2 main streets in the town I lived in Nevada. So there was the state highway, and then there was one other main street, and all the others were little tiny side streets. So, yeah, Mary, we talked about that before, about how you've been, or how you were part of a small town, and that where you grew up wasn't a real big town. One card and what it means to me. Okay, so we'll just shuffle. I don't mind doing one card. But understand, Retta, that when I pull just one card, that card could have the same meaning for me now, but it's more than likely going to have a different meaning for me in the middle of the spread, if that makes sense. It all depends on the question and situation that was asked about, the energies of the cards, and so on. Wow, that is a really small population base, Mary. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the cards once in half. Look at it. 10 of Pentacles. So just the general energy of this card without asking any questions, without asking any situations, just simply chatting with you guys. I will tell you that the 10 of Pentacles is very much the culmination of everything, all of the energy and heartache, blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured into whatever the endeavor was is about to pay off. It might take a little bit more work. It's not time to sit on laurels and just kind of coast, but that energy is very much a culmination energy. Things are finally, it's like the autumn when everything comes to a harvest. So you have your fruits that are ripening and your vegetables that are ready to be harvested and whatnot. That's what this card, that energy is for me right now, is very much it's a harvest time. So I hope that resonates with some of you. And I hope that gives you an idea as to how I read Reddit since this is your first time joining me. But that's just the energy I got from that card. So you're welcome, Nancy. I'm glad that you guys joined me. And you're welcome, Deets. Also, I'm glad I could make you happy. You guys make me smile. Earlier, I was watching the mods just kind of giving each other a hard time. And honestly, I was just cracking up. You guys, seriously, Mary, you had me dying. And then I was trying to get into the reads and the questions that I was answering. And it was a lot of fun. And I look forward to a lot more readings and lives and stuff that are just outright fun. Hi, baby girl warrior. How are you? And thank you. Yes, positive vibes for you too. That's all I really send anybody is just a lot of love, a lot of light, and a lot of positivity. Nobody that I know has time to be dragged down by the muck and the garbage and the bullshit. Okay. So I really just want to send out that love, that positivity to everybody. I'm trying to keep my lives and my spreads as positive as I can. And I said before, if all you're here is called hate, discontent, and drama, I don't want anything to do with it. And thank God that so far everybody has been absolutely amazing. Yes, I know. And that's part of the reason why we get along so well, Mary, is because you and I have a very, very similar sense of humor. So it's awesome. I'm glad and very, very blessed to have you and count you as a friend. So thank you. Thank you. So, and I'm glad to know that you're in agreement, baby girl warrior. That's awesome. I definitely am very grateful for each and every one of you who's been here with me and some of you have just joined me as I have started to get up and running. Others of you have been around since I really started moving and grooving with this channel. And I thank every one of you, those of you who have hung around and those of you who are just joining me. We're in for a wild ride. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And honestly, I'm just sitting here to talk so we can talk to whatever you guys want to talk about or to each other or whatever. Hello, Pigtails, Miss Jane. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining my live. We have a wonderful group of people here. Everybody is pretty awesome. So, and thank you, Lola K. I've got goosebumps. Thank you. That's so awesome. I just love the positivity that we have going on, guys. And honestly, as long as we can kind of keep that and, as long as we're all looking forward to when we join up and we talk and whatnot, then I really feel like we'll continue to bring a lot of positivity back to us. Okay, so hi to Australia. Good morning, as we're saying good evening. What time is it there? Hello to Alaska. You guys are a few hours behind me. I don't know if I would quantify myself as being a psychic, but thank you for the compliment. I definitely read by intuition and so on. So if that quantifies me as being psychic, okay. So 10:30 in the morning. So you are like 12 hours ahead of us, 14 hours ahead of us, depending on where you're at. Is that what I'm hearing, Pigtails? So, okay. Thank you, Retta. Thank you. That's a pretty high compliment to me. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, that's awesome. A lot of good energy, a lot of good people from all over. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let me refresh this, my dear, and we will do a reading for you. Is it 4:30 for you? Okay, so you're a little bit behind me. Okay. And let's see the details. Maybe. Okay. So you said I could read this out loud, right, Mary Kelly? Is that okay? Oh, thank you. That's awesome. That's a very good compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you said I could say your name, so I'm going to guess I can read this whole thing out loud. Let's jump into this. It says, Mary Kelly, since last week, you're reading about moving after being here 4 years. Everything good. You said spring, we will revisit. But in the meantime, my sister, Miss Husband, met when, your sister and her husband met when she was 16, married 3 kids, all grown in their 30s. Walked the dog, only had high blood pressure, healthy as a horse. Niece was waiting at the airport. Wonderful father, never ever would have been late. She called, sent a neighbor in her house, and he was passed away. He was 65. Healthy, shocking, emotional time. Now please say he went fast, funeral casket. He looked okay, but you've been worried. He laid on the bathroom for, okay. So, my heart goes out to you. Oh my gosh, that's so. Let's read for you. Let's shuffle. Let's get this going. Okay, there comes the goosebumps. He's here. So usually when Spirit decides to join me and decide to help with the reading, as is the case with yours, Mary Kelly, I just get this overwhelming feeling of warmth. It's like somebody just wraps me in a warm blanket and I get goosebumps everywhere. And then I start to hear the chatter. And he's kind of got a little bit of a deeper cadence coming through. That's interesting. Normally, when Spirit decides to come through, it's very, very high pitched. And even though his is still a higher pitch, you got to think they're on a higher plane. It's a little bit deeper than what I typically hear, which is interesting. Okay, did he have a deeper voice? I'm just curious. Spirit doesn't always sound the same there as I do here, but I'm interested. I would be interested to hear whether or not he had a deeper voice. I'm just putting the intention into the cards. We've got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm going to cut the cards 3 times. Interesting. Okay. So the overall energy of this spread is the stars, which is a very, very good indication that he's here. You're fine, Mary. And that he's helping with the reading. The Initiative of Swords. the Initiative Chalices, the Novice of Pentacles, the Emperor, yep, they have been all behaving. We have the Magician, we have Strength, we have the Death card, which is not always indicative of a physical death. However, I'll tell you what that card means in a second. We have the Justice card, and we have the Elder of Chalices. Keep in mind, guys, if the cards are reversed, that isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you can have the most negative cards that actually have a more positive read as being reversed. And you're fine, Mary. They've actually been awesome as you've been in and out, so we're great. So let's look at this. He had a huge heart, didn't he? I get so much love from this person. So much. He just seems like a very, very kind person, a very, very gentle person. He comes across as being like a teddy bear. Does that make sense? Oh, you're sweet, Deeds. I know this has been challenging. I know that this is This is requiring a lot of strength that you didn't know you had, for one, and for two, a lot of strength that you're starting to wonder if you have more strength to give. I'm going to tell you, you're a lot stronger than you think you are. So is your sister, and so is her family, especially her kids. And this is really hitting everybody hard. Kind of like that inevitable tower moment. Everything gets flipped and shaken up and turned inside out and said, here, now you get to put together back the pieces. And nobody knows how to put back together the pieces. This is all still really, really fresh. I don't feel like he was in any pain. I don't see anything that would indicate to me, and in fact, he's telling me that. He's saying, no, it was quick. It feels like something with his heart, and he's showing me the beating, and then it just stops. I'm not sure. I don't know why. He didn't have a stroke or anything. He just is. And I'm getting this image, and it's a beating heart, and then it just stops, and it's still, and he just dropped. But I don't feel any pain. I don't feel like he lay in agony for hours or anything. I don't have that feeling. Word of warning, not necessarily warning, but more of a heads up type of deal. Finances are going to be a little rough for her for a minute while she figures things out and kind of juggles things, and everything has to kind of regroup now. Everything is new. And she's really, really going to rely a lot on those people who are closest to her to help her get through this while she adjusts to her new normal, and while she figures out how to live life without him. And she's going to have some really dark moments ahead. Be there for her as best you can be. It doesn't matter if it's 3:00 in the morning. Be there for her. And when she lashes out, because she's probably going to, know that it's not necessarily you that she's mad at, more the situation. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if she's mad at him for leaving her here alone. She talks to him all the time. He hears her. He is trying to let her know that he is nearby. he's trying to be there as much as he can for her and for their kids. Um, he's he, he's saying that he didn't. It wasn't supposed to be this way. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Um, he thought that he had longer. That's the biggest part of what's coming through. Is I can hear him. As I thought it was going to be longer. I thought I had more time. Um, I feel for your family. This is definitely a struggle. Oh, I just wish that I could give you a hug and just give you all sorts of love and be there for you. Oh, I'm looking at this and I can tell you everything will be okay. Um, I do know that's something that he very much wants you to know is that he says I wasn't hurting. Okay. That's something that is he's very adamant about is I wasn't hurting. I didn't feel pain. He says that my heart just stopped. Do talk to him. He is there. He does hear. Is she having a hard time sleeping? I know. Is she like having nightmares about it? Because he's there. He's showing me that he's sitting on like the edge of the bed and he keeps smoothing her hair and kind of making a shh sound. So he's right there with her. He hasn't left her at all since he passed. I don't feel like he's stuck here. Um, I feel that he was able to cross, and that he says it's so beautiful here. Okay, sorry, I just read that. It's interesting that I likened him to a teddy bear, and that's what your nickname for him was. Um, every time the spirit comes through for me, there's something in the reading that will tell the person that I'm speaking for or speaking to that they're here with me. There's something in that will cue right into you, and it's meant only for you, and you'll know that he's here with me. And I have no idea who this person is, just that he had a huge heart and was so, so kind. And so giving is like, was he the guy that would be there for anybody? Like if you called him, you needed your car to be jumped or whatever, he was that guy that would be there? Because that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from him is he was that guy who was kind of there for everybody. So I know the kids are struggling, especially as they learn to find their way with their new normal. And I know that she is struggling as well. It will be okay. It's just going to take a little while. He is with them. And honestly, that's pretty much it. That's all he's putting through is he wasn't in pain. He loves them all. That's the biggest thing I'm hearing now is tell my wife I love her. And I'm with them always. Okay, guys. Ugh. So I hope that helped, my dear Mary Kelly. I hope that answered your question. Yeah, it's hard to read situations like that. And I goosebumps. He's giving me a big hug. That's awesome. Nice guy. Seems like a hell of a nice guy. Oh, I hope that helped to bring you some peace. I really do. Okay. It's not often that I end up pulling a reading like that one. Mary had, I think, my very first one I ever did during a live where I was, and Mary, my mod Mary had the very first channel spread that I ended up doing. And so I was glad to be able to share that. I'm glad that it seemed to bring you a little bit of peace, Mary Kelly. I hope that helps you get a little bit more strength to be able to get through the coming times. I know it's going to be rough. Please, please, please reach out to me. Let me know that you guys are okay. All right. I worry about you and I want to know that you're okay. I want to know that your sister and her family are okay. All right. Oh my goodness, my heart. Okay, guys. Somebody throw a joke out there or something because I can't spend all night crying. Somebody please make me smile. Night, Retta. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining and being a part of my live. I appreciate you. Good night. Okay, Mary, what do you? I give. What do you? Thank you. I needed that. Oh, that's awesome. I give deets. What's smaller than a teeny weeny bee? I'm waiting. I can see it coming. I have an idea, but oh, you guys are awesome. I love you. So if anybody is new to my life, thank you. Deets. Thank you. If you're new to my life, thank you. Welcome. Come join us. Right now, everyone's cracking jokes. Hi, Jen. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. And you're very, very welcome, Mary Kelly. I hope that helped. I hope it brought some clarity, some peace. So, oh my goodness, you guys crack me up. This is why I love you, Mary Lee. You always make me smile when I need to. Oh, goodness. So, shall we do another random card in the middle of the deck and see what comes through? Olivia, would you please bring me a tissue? Let's see what comes through. That seems like a good place to stop. Novice of Wands. I'll hold it up so you guys can see. Okay, so looking at the Novice of Wands, the energy that is coming through is a period of contemplation. a time of thinking, and this isn't a time to be moving forward and running a million miles an hour and doing things. It's more of a time to reflect and to contemplate and to decide what path is going to be your next one. I feel a crossroads coming, or that whoever this is meant for is right there on that crossroads, deciding which direction to take. And the beauty about this particular card and the energy from it is that there is no wrong path that can be taken. They're both going to get you wherever you need to be. One path will just be a little bit easier than the other one. So that's the energy that I'm getting from that card. I'm going to take a second as we're talking in the comments. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I very much feel like there wasn't any hesitation on his part. He just went right over Mary Kelly. Okay. Yes, the jokes definitely help, Debbie. I agree. Yeah, you are good for a laugh. We appreciate you. Good night, Pigtails. Thank you for joining me. And you're very, very, very welcome, Mary Kelly. I appreciate you too. So, all right, guys, you know what? I really feel like this is a good place to end it. We've ended on a more positive note with the jokes coming in and whatnot, and a little bit of a heavier read. But I'd actually like to spend some time with my family and whatnot. So thank you so much for joining me. Look for the videos that'll be dropped tomorrow, and I'll give you an idea of the next time I plan on going live then. And we'll meet up then. So I love you all. I wish you nothing but the best. Love and light to you. See ya.